Chairshot Reality Wrestling Inc.com. We're back in the studio at Point Park University in downtown Pittsburgh. I am Justin LeVar. He's Drew Springsteen. And from the city paper here in Pittsburgh, the wonderful, the boisterous, the looking like a hockey player, Rob Rossi.
You're stealing my lines now? I said that.
Rob, how are you?
No more questions!
Oh, God. I thought at least get to second. Like, I thought we'd get, like, into a couple sentences before the Macho Man impressions came out.
That's good.
Can you do a Braun Strowman impression?
Oh,
Yeah, exactly. What is happening with Braun Strowman? What is happening?
I don't know. You think he's actually a heel now? You don't think this is a little bit of a ploy? I think it's a storyline thing.
I hope it's a ploy.
What happens if it's not? What if he goes into Hell in a Cell and he keeps these guys around like McIntyre and Ziggler? Do you think he does that, or?
First off, that would be the biggest waste. The guy's 7 foot. He's the most massive guy they have. He doesn't need help. He's an organic babyface. You don't need to force him as a heel. He has such a moral compass that he's not going to sneak attack behind somebody to cash the Money in the Bank. But then he needs to have two guys help him full Roman.
Again, I think it's because Roman brought the Shield, so he has two guys, but he's just using them as hired guns, and then he'll just have Roman by himself at Hell in a Cell.
I think our friend thinks too much.
I love your optimism.
All right.
There's no way that's the way they're playing it.
Okay, Mr. Rossi, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, I agree. That would logically say.
No, I know.
I don't think they're planning this far ahead. I think this oozes of get over to all extremes Roman Reigns. And as I've thought for a while now, where they've miscalculated on this is when you've booked Roman as poorly as you've booked him, and when you've made him look as feeble as he has looked, never gets a win that makes him look dominant, okay? Needs the help of the Shield to fend off one Braun Strowman.
Yeah, one guy.
And then this week, the Shield, who so cleverly could coordinate matching their gear for the end of Raw the week before, suddenly can't even figure out how to get out there at the same time.
Well, that's because they didn't know they were going to be needed. They did not know that Braun
I'm sorry.
They must not have read the script.
I just say this. If you at this point don't feel that Roman Reigns is strong enough to book him as a dominant babyface, which, by the way, for 40 years, the champion in the WWE, for the most part, has been a dominant babyface, then you've done a poor job of booking him. And my fear now is that they are going to do with Braun Strowman what WCW did with Sting, even though I think Roman Reigns is more like the Sting overall here in terms of not being the man. They're missing the opportunity here with Braun Strowman, and they're going to sacrifice him at the altar of Roman. And the truth is, if Roman was worthy of an altar right now, we'd know it.
Yeah, and you've wanted for so long him to be Universal Champion, Braun, that is. Yeah. And now we've missed so many Raw after SummerSlam, Raw after Mania chances.
Going around the loop.
And now, I agree with you, though. If he is officially like a heel now, and the goal is to get Roman as over as possible, like you said, I don't know. There's no turning back. I don't think you can get he was getting so over and so many great reactions as this kind of anti-hero guy, and now it's if he's definitive, I don't know if it's
the thing that drives me nuts is I don't understand why in the day. Look, the WWE is accepted for the better part of a decade now. They've accepted their top guy for the longest time, John Cena. They've accepted a split crowd. So I don't know if it's because if Roman is Vince's last hurrah or what it is that why they. I mean, it doesn't have to be clear babyface and heel. It could just be Braun Strowman's his dominant force, and some people like to scream Braun. Roman Reigns is dominant force, that either he's a favorite heel or a favorite babyface to some people. Just let that be. I don't know why. Why does Braun have to do heel antics? Why again? I don't understand. He shouldn't need help.
Just one, Justin.
He shouldn't need help. And if you want to get I know it's weird to have a guy of Braun's size be a babyface, but what worked? The Shield works. The Shield works for that being the big obstacle for the babyface that's 7 foot to have to overcome 3 other guys. Let the Shield be the heels. If you need a clear-cut heel and a clear-cut
that doesn't work if you want Roman Reigns to be your top
and that's the problem. I'm not a Roman hater. I'm not.
I know. I'm not either.
I defend Roman.
I don't defend the booking of Roman.
Here's my problem. This is a company that is bereft of heel versus face genuineness right now, right? Nothing is heel versus face in this company. Everything shades of black and white. But now we're supposed to believe that all of a sudden Braun Strowman is aligning with these heinous Dolph Ziggler, this heinous Drew McIntyre. This guy who's been cheered, like you said, organically, now has to be a definitive heel when nothing else this company does is definitive like that. Chris Jericho, heel and face. You look at the Becky Charlotte angle.
Yeah, we'll get that
Heel
too. It's the
versus
same
heel.
thing.
Even Elias.
Right.
Yeah.
Elias is an experience. People love just to be part of that. They love to cheer him 1 minute, boo him the next minute. I mean,
So you're going to make Braun, who people want to cheer, a definitive heel. And by the way, WWE, take it from someone who knows Canada better than anybody here. They're not. If that reaction in Canada is going to be what it is, when you get back to the States where the real people live, it's going to be much worse. This isn't going to go the way you want. If Bizarro World Toronto wasn't buying this in a stronger fashion, what do you think it's going to be? What is going to happen when you come where we pay our taxes and we fight our battles and we do things that honest, good people do?
as viewership has just dropped north of the border right now.
They love me up there.
This video is now blocked in Canada.
All right, so what happens here, Juice? You think?
I think that
When do we find out it's a ploy? How long?
it's got to be Hell in a Cell because he wouldn't need those two guys, and maybe he even not employs them, but like gets them to Hell in a Cell as I'm with this guy or these two guys as to defend off the Shield, and then they can go at it with Seth and Dean on the outside of the Hell in a Cell because it's not just going to be one-on-one. There's going to be mayhem on the outside, and I think regardless, I don't think it stays long term.
Is there any chance, Rossi? Is there any chance, whether it's a ploy, not a ploy, whatever? Is there any chance that Braun Strowman walks out of Hell in a Cell actually getting the title?
I think he has to now. Absolutely.
He has to, but I'm asking any chance.
Yeah, I think so. Because why? Here's what we've established with Roman. He's not real interesting as the champion. He's not interesting as the belt. With Roman, they've somehow booked their, omnipresent face of the company has to be the chaser now. It doesn't matter that he's 6 foot whatever, 300 whatever, has a Superman punch that he has to use 17 times. We started. But all of that, he has to drop the belt to Braun now because you have to set this up so that Roman is chasing again because people don't buy him in the pole position. So yeah, I think Braun Strowman has to go over.
I kind of buy that. I think that if the goal, it's in WWE's eyes, it's better to have Roman be that guy that's chasing because even if he's champion now, that's not what they want him just be over, whether the title's on him or not. So if you have him chasing all the time, and then you get Braun his championship win.
You protect Roman
and I don't
more
think
by taking the title off.
And I think there's more mileage for Braun being as a face later down the line. It's not like an end-all be-all if he's a heel right now if he gets the title.
They would have never put the title on Roman
if
Brock was staying around.
Well, that's what
if Brock was staying around, they wouldn't have put the title on Roman. They made the mistake of needing Roman to beat Brock, right? They didn't want Braun to take that. They wanted Roman to beat Brock.
There's only one guy that was going to beat Brock.
They didn't have the guts to pull the Braun title win at SummerSlam. So what they're going to do is they're going to push it down the line, screw Roman again. Yep. That puts in their mind
dance around it.
Yeah, and that's the way you.
Because that's how they dance around the SummerSlam main event. They go, here, we'll give Braun, and then Roman will win.
They booked SummerSlam for SummerSlam,
and now here we go.
This for this.
Well, I sure hope Hell in a Cell can lower my blood pressure because my blood pressure is heightened between Braun, between Becky Lynch, and Dolphin Drew. You got Bray Wyatt, and Luke Harper out there doing nothing, and you give me Dolphin Drew.
Hey.
Dolphin Drew.
I'm a little worried about your blood. It's boiling a little bit too much. I'd like to think maybe you drink a little bit of decaf.
With cream.
With cream.
Dig it. Find him on social media, Canadians. All of his information is right here on the screen. At Juicy Steen, I can't even do it. At Juicy Steen on social media. All right, let's go to Josh Eisenberg. Let's let Josh. Let's let Josh be the voice of reason. All right. 3 topics, 1 question. Josh Eisenberg's why. Go ahead.
Why? Why, WWE, you continuously try to talk to the fans as we're idiots? This past Monday was a prime example because why? Why in the world would you think putting Braun Strowman with Dolph Ziggler and with Drew McIntyre a good idea? Do you remember a few months ago when Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre were in the ring and everybody saw McIntyre go face to face with Braun Strowman? I want to see McIntyre and Strowman. I don't necessarily need to see him cash in a few weeks from now, only to eventually lose it. So why would you make Braun Strowman Mr. Monster in the Bank? Why would you pair him up with these two guys when you have pieces like Bray Wyatt, when you have pieces like Luke Harper not doing anything, and Braun Strowman fits that mold a lot better than 2 cut, ripped, good-looking guys who are professional wrestlers. Braun Strowman is a monster. You do not need to put him with anybody else. Why in the world would you think it's a good idea to make Braun a heel and to turn his back on the Shield? Why? And why in the world do you need to make 2 triple threat matches for the tag team division to find out who the #1 contender is? That's lazy booking. Folks, we get that the New Day is a 5-time tag team champion, but they should not have to wait for 2 or 3 weeks before getting back in action. The New Day is always going to be good, whether it's on commentary, whether it's in the ring, but you do not need 2 triple threat matches to decide and then another one-on-one match to decide who faces him. It doesn't make any sense to me. I want to see Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows personally back in that tag team division, because look at Anderson, dude, shredded, almost as shredded as Justin LaBar. Look at Gallows, almost looks as good as I do. But at the end of the day, the Bar wins. They face the Colones, who for God knows that they were back. I'd rather have Los Matadores mask on them with El Torito, or El Dorito. I could really go for some Doritos. But why? Why do you constantly think that the tag team division has to go through tournaments, has to go through match after match after match, finally determining what a #1 contender is? You have all these great tag teams. Make a better storyline. Make a personal storyline for the tag team division instead of throwing it all away. Why? And lastly, you see Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, speaking of tag teams, bringing together an action figure podcast. Cool, congratulations, good for them, because I love seeing those guys, especially Zack Ryder, tweet pictures of toys, tweet pictures of posters, tweet pictures of WWE memorabilia each week, and do a good thing with that. I like that. I think it's a cool idea. But why aren't you using them actually on television? Zack Ryder is one of the most guys over 5 years ago, and yes, I know it's 5 years ago, but he still has that connection with the crowd. Kurt Hawkins came back and continues to lose. That's an interesting storyline. What better way to save Kurt Hawkins' winning or losing streak and making him a winner with a guy that he previously held tag team championships with? Why would you not utilize these guys, especially on a Raw roster right now that the B team, and B stands for second best and a joke and brutal, even though I like both guys, they only have to face the Revival each week. You saw the Ascension with Bobby Lashley. That's another why for another day. But I want to see Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins together. Put them together, develop more depth in the tag team division. You lost the Woken Warriors, so why not get major and bring Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins back together? Why?